And it's just, people always say, oh, because you're a celebrity, you've got money, you're this, you're that. Take that out of the equation. It does nothing. That doesn't buy him a change in his health or his behaviour. All he's interested in is his iPad, drawing, and his computer. That is it.
I mean, does he understand how his life is going to change in a few months? How did you kind of break the news to him? And do you have to keep reminding him that, you know, life is going to look a little bit different?
So I've got him his own little house at the minute, and it's opposite where we live. It's got all cameras in it. So either I'm here or there's a carer, Kalila, who's known him for 7 years from school. So he's got his own kitchen, but it's a 3-bedroom house. So that's the start of his starting his independent living. So I'm doing it slowly for him. Because otherwise I don't want him to think I've just sent him away. Right. So it's transitional. So he knows now he's 19, he's going to a college. And I've shown him obviously some of the colleges. So he's more excited about what his room's going to look like and if it's got a kitchen, because he probably thinks I'm going to fill it up with lots of stuff, which I won't be. So yeah, I'm doing it that way for him because I want him to be happy, because if he's not happy, I'm not happy.
I mean, let's talk about the documentary. Why did you want to do this at this time and let people into your lives and learn about Harvey's story?
So I've been doing my own reality show for over 20 years now. So everyone sees the family, they see Harvey. But something like this is it's different. Reality is different to a documentary. So I've been asked to do documentaries on Harvey before, but I didn't know the right angle to do it, because it's not like I want to do a show to expose Harvey, you know. So I had to think of a way what would benefit people watching and what's a good thing to watch. So when I was asked to do this, I said, what about, you know, he's going to be 19, we've got to find a college for him, so it could be educational. So that's why we decided to go down that route. You know, I could have done a show on him, showing him having these meltdowns and this and that, but that's not fair on him, and that's not the kind of thing I feel that people need to see, because I've always hidden that side of him. I've always let them see him happy. I never really showed him the challenging side. So I suppose the documentary shows he is challenging, and it is challenging to have a child with complex needs. And what happens when you turn 18, when you've got disabilities, it's completely different to when you're able.
Right.
So, yeah. So when I watched it back, for me, I was like, oh yeah, it's me and Harvey. But my mum, my family, and feedback I've had, they're like, oh, it's so touching and moving. I'm like, really? I suppose because I live and breathe Harvey, to me it's just me and Harv, normal.
Right. No, I'm sure that's just normal life. And I have to ask you, like, you know, as he approached his 18th birthday, was that something that you were dreading or kind of looking forward to? Or was it kind of like a bittersweet moment, because yes, he would have to leave, but also he would have this chance to thrive, but then he wouldn't be home. So, I mean, what were kind of the emotions that you were going through at that time?
Well, yeah, obviously of the COVID situation, I wanted him to have a big 18th birthday, and that wasn't quite possible, but I still did like a theme for him. So he does go to residential Monday to Friday, although he's not at the moment, he's here. So we sort of got used to that. He's done that for a year and a half, but going to a college, I'm looking for something 52 weeks of the year, just to give him the independency and the option to choose if he wants to come home at the weekend, or if he meets friends, he might want to stay there. He might want to do activities there at the weekend, or go to the cinema, or go bowling. Whereas instead of coming home to mum, you know, it just opens it up for him to learn life skills, not to just rely on me, just so he can explore his own world. Although I've already set up a clothing line for him, and you know, I want him to do illustration with his books and all of that. He has no idea of that, but I will set that up for him. So he'll have all this money in the bank, and all he'll want to do is spend it on a chocolate cake. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's so humble and that, but I have to think of the bigger picture, like I do with all my children. I have to do something for him, because everyone's always like, what job will he do? And I'm like, well, realistically, he's not going to go in the city and have a job. He's not going to do a job like that. He can only do something which I can excel with his skills. For example, drawing, music and writing. He writes stories to his pictures, and he likes to put music to his pictures. So I suppose that is the area. And obviously he's drawn his logo for his clothes. And I do talk a lot, by the way. You haven't even asked me anything.
You're fine. You're fine. I mean, if you could paint Harvey's future, I mean, what is it going to look like for him? I mean, what do you hope it looks like for him?
Well, he already lives like a king. You know, has everyone around his finger. Like I say, I'll have everything set up for him. And it's just, people always say, oh, because you're a celebrity, you've got money, you're this, you're that. Take that out of the equation. It does nothing. That doesn't buy him a change in his health or his behaviour. All he's interested in is his iPad drawing and his computer. That is it. And I'd like to travel around with him and open people's eyes up about disability, because lots of people are embarrassed about it, ashamed about it. You get families that are too ashamed or embarrassed to say they've got anyone with disabilities. They won't go out in public like it. I know it because I hear about families like it. But why is there a shame behind it? You know, we've all got quirks in our own way, and he's got such a massive personality and stuff. And everyone who meets him, they just can't help loving him, because he's just, well, unless he kicks off, then they're like, oh my God, Kate, how do you deal with him? But he is funny, like, you just never know what's going to come out of his mouth as well. He's funny.